Welcome to another episode of WoTTalk, where I just recorded a whole episode, and then the file got corrupted and I lost it. So we're gonna go back through and record it again. So I've read these comments before, we're gonna read them again, and we're gonna change up the formula a little bit here. This is something I've been planning. So previously I've been able to get to all comments, responses, but with them kind of adding up to roughly 80 to 90 now on the regular, I can't consistently do that. I'm sorry, guys, but what I can do is read the most upvoted ones. So in the future, if you see a great comment and you want to upvote it, you want it to be read, please go ahead and give it an upvote because that means it's more likely to be read. I know this also encourages people to upvote their own and downvote other people, but let's not do that. Let's just upvote good content, make this the best show it can be. And that way the show's a little bit shorter, because I know some people have been complaining about length at times, and it's going to overall just be a better highlight experience. But we're going to go ahead with some of the highest upvoted ones here, starting with one from Tracy Bailey with 10 upvotes, where she says, Swan... Oh, sorry, real quick, this is going to be a full spoiler-filled episode, so if you have not finished the series, you might want to dip out now. Also, in addition to that, it's going to be one where I thought people would give it longer responses, but they quite don't. So we're going to go ahead and just jump straight into Tracy Bailey's response here for Swan and Moraine. They worked for 20 plus years with iron will and laser focus, doing what they could for each other at arm's length for the fate of the world. Without their friendship and commitment to each other and their respective roles to be played, things would have been entirely different. Yeah, you're not wrong. And I really like that it's kind of a working relationship that also just has a lot of depth to it and history. I would say, and like of any friendship, theirs is probably the ones that has the most wide impact on the world because they work together to prep the dragon. Then we have one coming in from Elliot Burns. Rand and Matt, just for the dick waving contest near the end. You're not wrong. I know some people don't like that scene. I really do like it, and you can debate me on it. From Matthew Stormblessed, Elaine and Avienda. I don't really believe that they had a romantic relationship like some people think. To me, it just seemed like an honest best friend type of deal. Even though other people have said to be good friends, they don't really show it that often. Elaine and Avienda always hung out together and really made me believe in their friendship, especially when they console each other over Rand. Characters like Rand, Matt, and Perrin are said to have good friendships, but we rarely get to see this. You point out an aspect of Robert Jordan's writing we're going to be talking about a lot here, and this is something I brought up in my relationships video. He's really willing to give friendships development and time, effort, and energy, unlike a lot of authors who really only give that to romantic relationships. But Robert Jordan does it for friendships, and I think the series is all the better as a result. From Bookworm 56, Bane and Chiad, because they seem to understand each other perfectly, and are able to look past their clan's blood feud and become first sisters. They're always there for each other, and work so well together. And I completely agree. I think it's a great friendship, and it's one that I wish we had gotten more perspective of, more close up, because it's one that actually had a pretty big impact on a lot of events and things. So I wish we had gotten a little more look into the chemistry between them. From Dmitry Makarov, Rand and Land, because they're different but same at the same time. They want the same thing and are suffering in the same pain, but yet they are not the same, if that makes sense. I always found their friendship to be a lot deeper than they project to others. I get what you're saying. Maybe look up a thesaurus. I'm kidding. You're fine. No, I really liked the kind of fatherly figure aspect, but the way that their relationship changes as Rand's presence and authority grows, and yet it's not entirely dynamic. There is still some aspects of the relationship that remain static. So that's good. From J-Rock 1974, Elaine and Nynaeve, two people from completely different backgrounds who nonetheless grow to respect each other. They also have a real relationship, and they do not always agree. They fight at times. They get on each other's nerves, but they also support each other through thick and thin. And that's a really important thing you're hitting on there. The fact that they fight, the fact that they don't get along all the time, that's what makes it feel real. We've all had our friends get on each other's nerves, and I like that you point that out. Overall, sorry, I'm gonna have a little bit less energy this time because I just read all of these once, and thanks Audacity for dropping the audio of about 5 minutes total of it, randomly and sporadically throughout the video, so I had to completely re-record. Damn it. From Laura Fitzgerald. How's it going, Laura? I haven't heard from you in a minute. Matt and Egwene. I only properly noticed their friendship during my reread. They bicker a lot, but they look out for each other. That's some very strong sibling energy. Matt's the oldest of 5, and Egwene's the youngest of the 5, so they've naturally fallen into these roles. Matt helped protect Egwene in the Eye of the World, and Egwene saved Matt's life during the Great Hunt of the Dragon Reborn by getting him to the tower. In the Shadow Rising and the Fires of Heaven, they comfort each other after the attack of the stone and worry about Rand going mad. When Egwene is raised to Amyrlin, Matt's one of the only people who shows her proper respect by bowing to her in Saladar. They're always protecting each other, and I'm emotional about it. Well, they definitely have one of the best friendships, and you're absolutely right. From Dan, Saint Germain, Galani and Arengar, not Arengar, Galani and Argan, dyslexia coming strong here. Galani, and Arganda. I screwed that up. Still, moving on. I don't know how much they are actually friends, but I remember in the light when Arganda is seen wearing Galani's helmet after Galani died in the battle near Carian, made me cry all the tears. Yeah. And 2, Matt and Rand. I feel like they were so much better friends than with Perrin. They went through so much, Matt and Rand traveling to Camelin while both of them were sick. Matt didn't exactly choose to go with Rand rather than with Perrin from Tyr, but he did go with Rand, and they dealt with a lot of shit in the waste. Then again, Matt thinks about how he wants to get away from Rand before he goes insane. Still better friends with each other than with Perrin, though. Perrin was ready to smash Rand's skull in with when Fael joined Queen Cal. Oh man, I'm screwing this comment up bad. Like, dude, Perrin, I really wish you tried, and then Rand could have bail-fired you and Fael out of existence and saved us a lot of grief later on. Don't necessarily like and agree with this comment, but it got a lot of votes, so alright. Basically, you're saying Rand and Matt are better friends than they are with Perrin, and you don't like Perrin for some of his choices. Maybe you don't like, not that you don't like him, but you don't like the way he thinks about certain things. And I don't always agree with you there. A little bit different. From Jay Growlin24, Padon Fane and his knife. People are always going to bring that one up when I mention relationships. And moving on. James Garrett, he says, late series spoiler warnings. The friendship between Pavara and Andral, both before and after they double bond each other. Watching the signs of friendship blooming between a red that should hate men that can channel, and a well-traveled man that is very aware of an Aes Sedai before the bonding. Very wary of Aes Sedai before the bonding. Then the hints of friendship moving into love after the bonding near the end of the series. I would actually love to see a fanfic written about them, and I think you might actually pull it off very well, Daniel, if you were so inclined. Let me go ahead and let you know, James, I'm not a fanfic guy. It's never going to be something I ever write in the future. Sorry about it. It's just never interested me really at all. Then we have one from Dustin L. Perrin and Gaul. There's a lot of mutual respect and genuine admiration there. You know, that's one of those friendships that really kind of evolved subtly, and I really enjoy that. I like the subtle evolution between Perrin and Gaul's viewing of each other, understanding of each other, the different cultures, and it really seems like they're learning every time they interact, and they want to learn because of that mutual respect. From, first correcting me on a pronunciation here, from Fineen, not Finnegan, my bad, Fineen, Fineen is how you'll pronounce it. Got it. He says, I'll forgive you because you're American. Okay, you European. He says, I love Matt's relationship with Talmanis and his other commanders. They have such good crack together. Yeah, you're definitely European, or maybe Irish, I'm going to say specifically. Well, with the name Finian, that's not exactly a surprise. Together, and such banter, but can then switch to a professional soldier-commander relationship. It reminds me of some relationships I have, and I think it's really well executed. I agree. It's a good comment overall, and definitely one of the best relationships in the series. From Winter's Tablet, Padon Fane and his ruby-hilted dagger. Yeah. We have Nibiscus 13 mentioning Perrin and Gaul again, which I totally agree with. From Os Stuff, my vote is for Pavara and Erndral. It's really a relationship, but it's a relationship that's built on friendship / the double warder bond in the first place. So yeah, we've had this one mentioned before, and I think most people agree with you. And then we have one from Brandon Quad. It doesn't get shown very often in the books, but the friendship I'm particularly fond of is Matt and Brigitte. I find it hilarious that the one who blew the horn of Valir ends up becoming drinking buddies with one of the heroes of the horn. This, combined with a few other minor things, like Brigitte pointing out girls to Matt and expecting Matt to do the same for her, really makes their friendship a ton of fun to read and also feels real. I like that one. From James White. Brigitte and Matt, if you ever had someone you had one conversation with and just clicked, yeah, this person just kind of saying they really admire the chemistry. I think it's funny these comments are right after each other and have a very similar number of upvotes. And after I upvote one, they have the same number because I'm OCD, and I like that. From Felice Wildy, I have two best friendships. I think they are very well done friendships. I think there are many very well done friendships, but these two stand out. The boys, Rand, Matt, and Perrin. Yeah, that's a good answer. And Rand and Nynaeve. And I'm going to go ahead and skip to this part of your comments. I really like it, and I really agree with it. Nynaeve is perhaps someone that's hard to like at first, but she actually was all about using her abilities to help, heal, and be good. Also be there for Rand when you need a friend the most. Male channelers have been hunted for so long, and I think in some way female channelers liked that they had the right to use the power and weren't generally up to even trying to cleanse saidin. Because apart from the danger it would take away their monopole on power, nor did they want to believe when it was cleansed. You can understand that disbelief, of course, because the taint is so ingrained in the Aes Sedai belief that male channelers should be hunted like animals, not to be taken seriously. Perfect example in the White is the White Tower Aes Sedai who captured Rand and tortured him and tried to break him. So to have an Aes Sedai after that event who stood up for her beliefs and took a risk that majority of female channelers would not even consider. I think it's sort of a miracle that after Dumai's Wells, Rand could trust any Aes Sedai, more so without an oath. As much as he could, and he did. He went to Nynaeve and asked her help to cleanse saidin, and she did it. There's more examples of their friendship, but I think this raised her above all other female channelers for good. She was, through the entire series, such a huge pillar of support for Rand, and he was able to trust her during the darkest times, and she was still there, fighting, saving him in the world. So the part of your comment I really liked was talking about how Nynaeve supported Rand and was just overall a good friend for Rand. But one of the many questions I want to ask here for the audience is, do you agree with the assessment in this comment that the White Tower was almost hesitant to let go of their power and believe men because they did not want to give up that power? Or do you think it's something else? Because that part I'm not sure if I do completely agree with or not. So that's an interesting one. From Violet Soda, Avienda and Elaine. They were so different but have such mutual love and respect for each other. Their interactions make Elaine tolerable, and Avi's earthiness and humble nature balances Elaine's spoiled nature. But they are both super strong and brave. If it's for whatever reason they never met up with Rand, or if he somehow wasn't in the picture, I would read an entire book of Elaine and Avienda doing things. They are so precious together. Yeah, I love them together as well. A couple more answers of Padon Fane and his dagger. Not horrible answers. From Bobby Owen. First off, found your channel 3 weeks ago and love it. Now for my answer. Thank you, Bobby. Parrot and Gaul. Their friendship is something neither take for granted. I hope Gaul, Chiad, and Bane all live in the Two Rivers after it's all over. Now, I want to make a special note here. Start thinking about things similar to what was brought up here by Bobby, because my question at the end is going to be along these lines. From Paperback Writer 80. Matt and Tom is the best friendship in the Wheel of Time. That's my answer, Paperback Writer. I'm glad you bring this up. Tom essentially took Matt and the boys under his wing immediately, teaches him to juggle, and tries to protect him in the beginning. Later, in The Dragon Reborn, Tom and Matt's friendship developed throughout, and it continues to evolve through the rest of the series. Also, Perrin and Gaul's friendship is mentioned again. So the most frequently mentioned friendship so far is Perrin and Gaul's, I think, but the most mentioned character involving friendships is Matt. And that remains consistent all the way until the end of this. And I really like that because Matt's personality and his loyalty to his friends just kind of makes him consistently the one who is mentioned in friendships the most. And I think that's really cool. From Sean Sunny, I remembered. Sean Sunny, yeah. Randy, I'm happy to have another comment from you here. And it's got a good amount of upvotes. It's a very good comment. My favorite friendship in the Wheel of Time is between Egwene and Swan. They are brought together by circumstance. In another lesser series, the two would be bitter rivals, or something equally cliche. Swan has been brought to her lowest point in life, and it is at this point that we really see her intrinsic character as an individual. And even though this untutored farm girl from rural Andor has been elevated to a station that no one believes she deserves, Swan helps Elaine make the most of her considerable potential, and not only as an Aes Sedai, but as a leader. I can't imagine Egwene going through the harrowing experiences she endures after being raised Amlin without Swan's experience and wise counsel to ground her. Especially when Egwene wisely does not follow Swan's advice. Both women realize that Swan's approach is flawed, given how Swan's career in the White Tower ended. But somewhere between Swan's guidance and Egwene's innate wisdom, they find a way to make the most of a situation that was supposed to see Egwene used as a puppet and a sacrifice. Neither woman had any illusions about the motives of Ramonda and Liane and the other Saladar sitters who raised Egwene to the stole. The stakes could not have been higher. Naturally, they debate quite a bit, and the two women aren't infused in their affection towards each other, but there is still real respect and real trust between them. And to me, that's a mark of true friendship. And that is probably the most convincing answer I've read in this whole comment section. That's one that really has me thinking, and I really, really dig it. Good job. Well done. All right, so we got quite a few responses here from people, and I love seeing the conversation back and forth. I really do. And then we have a couple more higher voted answers, and this one's from Long Shanks. Without a doubt, it's got to be Nynaeve and Mat. They couldn't stand each other, but they're loyal as hell. Mat would break into the stone itself to rescue just her if she needed it, and Nynaeve would believe anything Mat said if he just gave his word. They both, however, have a personal power struggle that is going on since they were children. Mat wanted to do things his way, Nynaeve wanted him to fall in line. Mat started getting crafty and escape punishment, while Nynaeve became wisdom. Mat had to run, Nynaeve developed her channeling. Mat got an item to keep him safe from channeling, and Nynaeve started beating him with stuff. All the Evenfielders have great sibling relationships with one another, but Mat and Nynaeve has to be the most developed of the five. You're not wrong. I really enjoy that one. Spoiler warning. This is from Iskerbik. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think so. Easily Parrot and Hopper. One of the saddest moments in the Wheel of Time is when Hopper dies and Perrin is heartbroken. I remember the line when he says to Fael that he lost a friend for a second time, and I started tearing up. How dare you remind me of something that hurt me so much? S. Hollis mentions that his favorite's between Mat and Tom, and I completely agree, but that one's been mentioned, so we're going to move on a little bit here. From OMFGA Wizard, Perrin and Loyal have this wonderful understated friendship, and they mirror each other so well. They're both somewhat reluctant heroes, and they seem to understand each other and be so comfortable together when traveling. Yeah, they're both thinkers, but their thought processes lead them to different conclusions, and I like that. From Cheez-It, we're getting a comment from Cheez-Its itself, everybody. What a great thing. I love Cheez-Its. I'm an adult. I shouldn't eat Cheez-Its anymore, but still. I really like the friendship between Rand and Moraine. Their relationship goes from Moraine being a mentor to Rand commanding her and ends with a mutual respecting and caring friendship. I love the reunion of the two characters and seeing how they had changed. Me too. Oh, it's one of the best scenes in the whole series, my man. All right. Moving on down here. We have a comment from... Sorry, there's one I knew I wanted to get to. Oh, no, I already read that one. Well, we're hitting the 20-minute mark, and this is the second time I've recorded this, so I'm going to go ahead and call it, guys, because my voice is a bit raw. I need to learn how to speak longer without my voice getting messed up. It's funny how I learned that once, but I seem to have forgotten the talent. And it is something you actually have to learn to do. You don't speak in your throat, you speak in your mouth, but, you know, it's bringing it forward. Anyway, the question for next week's episode, and one that I'm very curious to see what people have to say. And please remember to go and read other people's answers and vote, because I will be reading the ones that get the most upvotes. And so if you see good content, help me see the good content. And that question is, what do you think the future of the Wheel of Time holds. After the events of the series, what are some predictions you have, whether it's where the Aiel end up, do they go back to the Waste, do they integrate culture, what do you think happens to certain characters, with the Shan-Chan, with the Blight? I'd love to see some predictions. Feel free to go as long as you want. I'm down to read some longer comments, and I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you for the next WoT Talk, and have a great week. Peace.